a black superhero.
You need a role like me. Military mind stated, and I keep in a degree. You can label me a Huey P. Made a martyr out of Martin, out of Malcolm, out of Mega. I refuse to let these dirty devils make Michael a beggar. A hero CEO, I will go Magneto for my people. Give me liberty or death, that is my credo, not my ego. Dressed in a tuxedo, into party, alter ego. Killed your leader in gazebo, did it for the people. Love what motivated, I did not do it for hatred. But I truly hate the devil, I cannot debate or fake it. I was asked a question and the asker thought it hard. If I was facing death and I could ask one thing of God, I would ask for every to be free here and abroad, and to be rightfully celebrated as a child of God, and to be rightfully celebrated as a child of God.
Need a black superhero. Every block, every hood, every city, every ghetto. Need a black superhero. Our own kind took nip from us. Money still reading God we trust. Truthfully we envy, so why we so envious? And why our own kind envy us? Pac said it's hard, but we gotta keep our head up. Going even though we know we fed up. It's hella tension, plus we ain't careful where we all pay attention. I need all my real soldiers on the front line, fighting for the right just one time. So unstoppable together at the same time, with the same mind. Yeah, we're born to be high and always above what's beneath us. So every block, every hood, every city, every ghetto. Need a black superhero. Every block, every hood, every city, every ghetto. Need a black superhero.
I'm talking bulletproof kind of suit, reflect the struggle that they put us through, with the strength to fight the power like Chuck D do, with the insight to be equal. No disguise needed, a voice that finds reason to multiply. People in the streets for the cause, marching on Washington miners will be walking through walls. Type of superhero show up when ain't no one to call, that'll shield you from them shields that been killing us all. High beams for eyes to peep the villains in the dark. Power of resolution for a war would even start. The knowledge to build and grow where they live and take care of the kids and the older folk. The queen cause they need it most. Politic with the kings. About economic growth. Cure PTSD. Cause mental health ain't a joke. Feed the hungry and dope. Everyone would know. Everywhere we go.
Every block, every hood, every city, every ghetto. Need a black superhero. Every block, every hood, every city, every ghetto. Need a black superhero. It's gonna take one of us to save us. It's gonna take love and a lot of trust. We just got to keep that faith and know that. Oh, yes, you got mine, I got your back, I know. It's gonna take one of us to save us. It's gonna take love and a lot of trust. We just got to keep that faith and know that. Oh, yes, you got mine, I got your back, I know. Every block, every hood, every city, every ghetto. Need a black superhero.
Lights came, prime time action. Run it up, touchdown, I'm snapping. In the field with the plays, John Madden. It's so many given Sunday magic. Lights came, prime time action. Run it up, touchdown, I'm snapping. In the field with the plays, John Madden. It's so many given Sunday magic. Round of applause and you go, that's it. Damn, that's a bomb with a flick on my wrist. Jersey on my chest, that's a team that I rep. Came in as a rookie, now I'm balling like a vet.
Thank you. On a cold night at the foot of the Rockies, EA Sports coverage of the NFL takes us to Empower Field at Mile High in Denver, Colorado. Tonight, it's a good Week 9 matchup here on a Monday night between the Green Bay Packers and the Denver Broncos. The first 2 months of the regular season down. What will the final two bring us as we're off in Week 9? And you combine a big leg with a mile-high air, there's the outcome. This will sail out of the end zone for a touchback.
Hey, kiddo.
They start the drive on the ground. It's Williams. And he's upended at the 33, following a good pickup of 8.
Next, the receivers have spread the defense out, and they were able to come through with a slashing run.
But to that point, it's going to be interesting to see the personnel chess match as this one progresses.
Yeah, you're exactly right. Can they continue to create running lanes out of passing sets? And if so, it's going to be a long day for the defense.
8 yards the gain on that last run. Here's second and a couple. They go play action with Wilson. Throw to the right, caught by Dulcich. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down. The Broncos at 3-5, 2 games under 500. They come in losers of 2 straight, so trying to turn things around here.
And you just mentioned 2 straight, and when you talk about 2 games, that's nothing to panic about. They feel like they've been a little bit unlucky in the last couple. This is a club that's more than capable of turning things around, and I expect them to play really well here.
It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3. The success there, Charles, coming on the outside of the field, the ground game. Curious to see if that continues as we progress.
Yeah, we often talk about a variety in play calling and usually between run and pass. But in this case, with strictly the run game, you can be creative there as well. Run it inside, run it outside, keep the defense off balance.
And this is going to result in another first down as the tackle's made at the Packers' 40. A nice pickup there of 11 yards, and it'll move the sticks. So into Packer territory now. Here's 1st and 10, right at the 40. Now a give up the middle to Williams. And this time they were ready for him as they'll stop him right at the line of scrimmage. So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. They'll stay on the ground with Williams. And the lane closes up quickly as he'll get about 3 down to the 38. Just not a whole lot of room to operate there on that carry.
No, not at all. They did a really nice job staying in their proper places and not allowing any lanes to open up.
Here comes the 7th play of this opening drive. They've moved it well, but here's 3rd down. That's incomplete, but there is a flag down, so hang on. A big call coming on 3rd down. So he gets too far beyond the line, and that's an easy call for the official. The 7th play now of this opening drive. This is 3rd and long, though. Packer pressure, and down he goes. Rashawn Gary in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year.
This offensive line has struggled. In fact, when we sat down with the coach, he said it's been in tatters lately. They allowed 6 sacks in their last game. Just gave up another one right there.
In tatters, so it sounds a little bit like this right now?
Exactly. It's like that paper being ripped. And right now, they've got to find a way to get it back together.
And now a timeout coming from the defensive side for the Packers. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. Fourth down. Here's Wilson. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. The Broncos unable to convert here on 4th. And this defense holds on the night's opening drive. Loving the Packers now with a 1st and 10. Just shy of midfield at the 48. Play fake. Here's Love. Pass caught. It's Romeo Doubs. And down he goes at the 49, a 3-yard pickup. 2nd and 6. No, scratch that. 2nd and 7. On the counter, here's Jones. Well, they nearly sprung him that time as he takes this all the way down to the 37. 11 yards and a Green Bay Packer first down. Now, look, that wasn't a huge gain, but those are the types of carries I think they were missing in their loss last week. They couldn't get him going on the ground.
Did you get the same feeling I did during our meetings, that they kind of regretted that he didn't touch the ball?
Absolutely.
You know, hey, he should have touched it more last week.
The ball comes out, but this will get out of bounds, so possession will stay the same. You can almost see inside his face mask there the look of relief. He coughed it up, but it goes out of bounds. They keep it.
Someone carrying around the lucky horseshoe, aren't they? If I were him, I'd go out and play the lottery after that one. A very fortunate man.
And they're operating in plus territory here. They're thinking points. Definitely don't want to lose the football at this juncture.
Come on, set.
Now a first down carry by Jones. Now Jones is hit. He lost the football. It's picked up by the Broncos. There he goes left side. And this is going to be brought back for a Denver touchdown. Oh, a backbreaker. That'll drive the coach, the offensive coordinator. And now before the ball changes hands, they're going to take a look at this just to make sure that they have it right. The fumble on first down. Now here's second down. Now Love. Slant route. He's got Doubs. And it's a Packers touchdown. Romeo Doubs, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Packers put the Knights' first points on the board as they take the early lead. The point after is good, and that makes the score 7-0. After the touchdown, on is Pat O'Donnell to send this one away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. 3-5 is where they sit on the year. A very uneven start. Is certainly not an ideal position to be in at the halfway point of the season. CD, do you see an avenue where they can still be a playoff team, or is that ship sailed?
Well, since you took me to the nautical side, I'm going to try and keep up here, because to me, this ship is about ready to pull out of port. These next couple of games are absolute must-wins for them. Now, if they can win a couple, get to 5-5, maybe they start believing in themselves. But a loss here, that would move them to 3-6. And if that's the case, well, that boat is going to head out to the harbor with them still on the dock.
All right, rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. Adrian Amos with a pick. And the Packers are going to take possession of the football. Unfortunately for him, if last week was any indication, we knew a pick was coming at some point. Last week it was interception after interception, and here we go again.
We actually quit counting last week at a certain point because I thought I was going to run out of fingers, all right, because I'm not all that skilled as a mathematician. But you're right, it felt like a matter of time, and you got to think the guys on defense, they couldn't wait for this opportunity after what they saw on tape.
And he'll be brought down at the 27. Second and 8. To pass, here's Jordan Love. This is Lazard with a catch out left. And he'll go out of bounds in the red zone just inside the 20.
Well, it's almost as if they didn't leave the field after their first drive. They picked right up where they left off. Another good throw there. And this offense, humming here in the early going.
After one, 7-0 on EA Sports. So from the 17 now, here's a 1st and 10. To throw now, here's Love. This one swung out here to Jones. And they're going to be set up now with the ball at the 13-yard line.
Well, offensively, that's the mismatch that you want. You want to force a linebacker to try and cover your back out of the backfield, out in some open space. But linebackers nowadays, they run like backs, and they take a lot of pride in covering. What a nice play he made there in the open field.
Throwing again on 2nd down, but this time it's incomplete.
Excellent recognition that none of his receivers were beating coverage and getting open, so he just threw that one away. They'll come back to the huddle, reset, and try something different.
So after the 2nd down incompletion, they'll come up now against a 3rd and 6. Here's Love. Touchdown! Romeo Doubs with his 2nd touchdown of the game and 5th on the year. And the Packers have taken a 2-touchdown lead now. Out for the PAT, here's McGinnis. And it's good to make it 14-0.
Makes the score Packers 14.
After the touchdown on is Pat O'Donnell to send this one away. From a yard or 2 deep, here comes a return. The lane opens here. He's past the 30. And he nearly broke that for more, but as it is, still a good return. They'll start the drive right around the 37. Denver offense at the line, ready to go. And they're in a bind early here, down 14-0. Are you worried at this stage or still too early?
You're worried. You're just trying not to transmit it to the rest of your team. You want to make sure that they stay positive. But at the same time, you're wondering, how are we going to move the football? What do we have on this play sheet that can work? Get back to basics is usually your answer. And make sure you find the guy who can move the ball fastest for you if you just get it in his hands.
Still 2nd quarter. You get points on the board here. I think you're feeling okay. 2 yards, good enough for a 1st.
I know what you're thinking out there. I know a lot of you are thinking, take a shot downfield. It's a great spot for it. I'd say maybe later in the game, definitely in the 2nd half. But right now, I think they were just trying to get some momentum built. Get a 1st down, pick it up, and keep moving.
They go play action now. Wilson. He lets this one fly toward the back of the end zone. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete.
I like the fact that he took the shot deep downfield. Even if you don't get the catch, maybe you get a defensive penalty and pick up the yardage that way.
Again on 2nd and 10, it's Wilson. They're looking for Judy, but it's intercepted. And the Packers will have solid field position here as they take over at their 45-yard line. So a nice play defensively by the rookie coming up with the INT.
And that's a late-round pick right there, making a first-round impact. And a lot of these day 3 corners, they end up winding up on special teams and sub-packages and even on the practice squad. But he's really made an impact on this defense, and he comes up with the interception there.
Oh, he's got a little daylight. 112 yards rushing for him now on just his first 3 carries. Aaron Jones, not one of the bigger backs in the league, 5'9", 208, but he's definitely what you'd call a downhill runner, and he's able to shed the tacklers there for good yardage. Open man left side, it's the tight end Tunyon. This will be a gain of about 8 to the 27-yard line. From the 27, Love. This throw incomplete, nearly picked off. And with his pedigree, he doesn't drop many of those. But third down coming up.
I see the surprise in your face there, partner. That is a rare incompletion from him. He's been on point this entire game.
He has percentage completion-wise way up. Not that time. Drops it to Jones in the flat. And he'll be marked down right at the 20-yard line. Got to say, I was a little surprised to see him, Charles, come out in the shotgun on third and less than a yard.
Yeah, but the way the NFL is nowadays, we hardly ever see anyone really run for it on short yardage. So they're going to throw the football more times than not. That was a nice, easy rhythm throw right there, and they pick up the first down.
Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8. Again, it's Jones. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. A yard in the wrong direction makes third down tougher. Third down and 9.
And that's what I'd like to see out of this defense. A little fire, a little toughness. It hasn't been the best first half for them. But they did do a nice job there, forcing a loss on that play.
On third down, Love. And they're going to get him. He's sacked back around the 28. They dial up the corner blitz that time, and it delivers to the tune of a 9-yard loss. 2 minutes to play first half. It's 14-0. So now the Packers turn things over to the special teams crew. They're on for the field goal try. From the right hash, this from 45 yards away. And his kick is absolutely perfect. So he's been automatic to this point of the season, and he connects on the field goal there.
And what a luxury it is to have a kicker you can depend upon, partner, because he hasn't missed all year long. Converts on that one as well. And kudos to you. You didn't jinx it.
The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. They're sort of seeing themselves spiral out of control. Let's see if they can get things back on track.
And this is where the coach is walking that line of being calm and really being firm with his team. I had one tell me once, when we're having a tough patch, this too shall pass, this too shall pass, and if I kept having a rough patch, he said, but you got to do something to make it pass, and that's what they have to do. They've got to get some control back, get themselves reasserted, and calm things down.
See if they can get calm and reassert themselves here. It looks like the Packers have added an extra DB on third down. Now it's Wilson. This one complete to Jerry Jeudy. And he will have a Broncos first down. They needed 4. He doubled that. He wound up getting 8. On 1st and 10, it's Wilson. So no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or two miss, but that window closed quickly. Looking to throw again on 2nd down. Wilson. Oh, he'll air this one deep for Jeudy. And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long way out there, but it'll be 3rd down.
Teams talk all the time about stretching the defense, and nothing stretches the field more than a deep ball, and I mean a deep ball. That one didn't connect, but certainly they'll be back on their heels.
He'll let this go deep for Sutton. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete.
They gave it a shot with a deep pass, but it wasn't going to work there. And now there's less time for them to try and get 3 before the half. Let's see what they dial up on this next snap.
They're going on 4th down. It's Wilson. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. Boy, a real head-scratcher there. And the Packers are going to get the football back in excellent field position. So they take a big, big chance here in their own territory, and you think the coach may have some questions to answer?
Yeah, and, you know, normally we focus on the media, right? The social media barrage that he's going to get for this one. How about on his own sideline and in his locker room?
Yeah.
Because I think the team's going to look at him like, Coach, why would we go for it there? I mean, no confidence in the defense. You don't like the punter. I mean, what's going on here? You owe us some explanations.
They'll come up now on 2nd and a yard. They go bootleg. Love. He's going to let this go. Back of the end zone. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there trying to take a shot, but it's 3rd down.
There is something to a game plan. We're trying to keep a defense honest. When with a guy with that type of speed, you do so. Send him deep. Try and throw some air under it and hope you connect downfield. On that play, they were unsuccessful.
And this one looks good. It is good. Right down the pipe, and that will extend their lead even further. So not the greatest of first halves for them, but a little ray of light here at the end. The late turnover becomes 3 points before the break.
Well, they certainly needed something positive to go their way. Maybe 3 points doesn't seem like a huge deal in the grand scheme of things, but at least it's something to build on as they head into the half.
And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback. Denver offense at the line, ready to go. And only 6 seconds on the clock, so time likely for just one play. Final play of the half, it's Wilson. He'll go up top here for Hamler. And Wilson's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off by Jair Alexander. So we reach halftime in what's been a fairly one-sided game so far. As we send you on out to our studios in Orlando, here's Jonathan Coachman at REA Sports Halftime Report. And we welcome you back live now inside the booth alongside Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin, set and ready to rock for the 3rd quarter. Now McManus on to kick this one off. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. This offense set to begin the 3rd quarter, and Charles, if they had a checklist of things they wanted to accomplish in the first half, certainly at the top of that list would be having the lead, and they've got that here.
That's always the most important box to check, isn't it? But also, they've had some success in their passing game, so probably an empty box, establishing the run. They're on pace for fewer than 100 yards in this one, so now they want to make sure that they get that going so they truly have a control in this ball game, and down the stretch, being able to be balanced, either throw it or run it, and try and win this ball game.
It's a big play there for Green Bay. 44 yards.
Oftentimes now offenses aren't nearly as precise as days gone by. They just have receivers find an open patch of grass and let the quarterback find you. And that's exactly what they did on that play. First with the pass through the air, nice chunk of yardage there, and then additional pickup with his legs after the catch. His back has been a dependable safety valve all game, so he went back to him when his first read was covered. Just unable to connect, so the play results in no gain.
And he's got it. It's caught for a Packers touchdown. Romeo Doubs, 23 yards for the touchdown. And the Packers take the opening kickoff of the third quarter and drive right down the field to extend their lead. And now before we get to the extra point, remember all touchdowns do have to be confirmed by the replay official. So they called it a touchdown originally, and this will stay a touchdown after the video review, so they had it right. Love throwing for it. And this is going to be caught. It's good. And that extends their lead by 2 more.
But I guess when you're hot, you're hot. I mean, I would just go ahead and take the extra point and move on, but apparently they've got something to prove. Almost feels like something was said this week, and they wanted to make sure that they laid it on them in this game.
And here comes a return from just beyond the goal line. And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped at the 23. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. A CD, they certainly know the hole that they face as they begin the second half. They have to do what precious few teams have done in NFL history. That's try to come back from a 4-possession deficit.
And, partner, you know, as that team gathers, they're saying to each other, you never say never, right? Because if you're on an NFL roster, that's how you have to think. You can always come back and win a ball game. And let's face it, we saw a certain Super Bowl, a 25-point lead late that wasn't enough to put someone away. But that being said, this task is near impossible. Let's face it. And bottom line is, it officially becomes impossible if this possession is an empty one.
So the failure to connect on second down, that leaves them staring up here at a 3rd and 8. That's complete. It's Okwuegbunam. And I don't think he got there, no. He's short by maybe a foot, maybe. Call it 4th and inches. They'll try and throw for it with Wilson. He'll get that complete to Albert O. And he is going to have a Broncos first down. No problem there. They get the first by plenty on 4th and inches. And for the 4th time tonight, it's an interception. Adrian Amos with a pick. And the Packers will take over here as they get it up to the 43-yard line. Well, to be blunt, not a whole lot has gone right for this defense in this ball game, but that's something right there. Still in the third quarter. It would take something around miracle territory for a comeback, but maybe that's a start, Charles.
It certainly is, and they're definitely showing that there's some fight still left in them. Hasn't been a banner day, but they're trying their best to put that disappointment behind them and find ways to make plays.
So 1st and 10, and if they score on this drive, might have to start digging in our second half blowout material. Tunyon's got it on the out route. And the tackle going to be made at the 38. He's been quiet today in the passing game, just his 2nd catch.
Yeah, people have to come up with schemes to limit him, and what a lot of teams do, they'll double him, you know, use a linebacker underneath, a safety over the top. Sometimes they'll just take a corner, maybe their 3rd corner if he's a bigger guy, and put him on a man-to-man to try and limit his touches. Just keep mixing it up, give him different angles, different looks, like a good boxer does.
22 yards there, a first down.
This is just more of the same. This defense has had no answer on a lot of these throws. They've let these receivers run wild, and here's another completion for good yardage.
So the ball down to the 16 here for 1st and 10. From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. Bradley Chubb, the outside linebacker, coming up to drop him for a loss of a full 10 yards. And the job becomes twice as difficult now after the sack. It's 2nd and 20. He's got Watson. It's caught. Touchdown, Packers. A great effort there. 27 yards. And the Packers have taken a 5-touchdown lead. Extra point splits the uprights, and that makes this 35-0 now. After the touchdown, on is Pat O'Donnell to send this one away. From a couple yards deep, he'll bring it out of the end zone. And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback. Denver offense at the line, ready to go. Well, we're still in the third quarter, so there's some time to kind of clean this up and make it look more respectable. Now, a win, that's probably gone out the window, Charles, but I don't know. Do you look at this as a time to just improve and maybe start to look towards the future?
I think you have to find something to play for, something to grasp onto until the clock runs out.
He's got a man, complete. And he'll be taken down here just shy of the 30.
And that might be exactly what they needed to wake up this home crowd. They haven't given them much to cheer for so far. And never underestimate the effect the home crowd with you can have on a game.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. Now Wilson. Right side, it's Hamler pulling it in. And this is going to result in another first down as the tackle's made at the Packers' 13-yard line. Inside the red zone here, they'll look to throw. And that one drops down, incomplete. Good coverage there, forced the ball free, and it's 2nd down.
And that's another play that's painted the picture of this game overall. It's been a blowout. It's been continually fueled by big turnovers and stops for one side and an inability to advance the ball from the other.
2nd and 10. It's Wilson again. This will be caught just inside the 10. Touchdown, Broncos. Jerry Jeudy from 13 yards out. And the Broncos are finally on the board here in the 4th quarter. McManus's point after is good. And that'll cut the lead down a bit to 28. So still lots of work left to do, but here comes the onside kick. And this one's going to be covered up by the Packers hands team. Now they're down big here in the 4th. They had to try the onside kick. Can't fault them for the effort at least.
No, you can't at all. And if nothing else, now you've put something that you're trying to practice, right, that you've worked on into a game situation, and now you can go back and dissect it. So if you need it again sometime, maybe you'll find a better way to do it. But, yeah, this game's pretty much done for them.
Jordan Love ready on first down here. And that nearly their first pick of the game, but it falls down to the ground, incomplete. A CD, they're up big, but they're still passing it. I mean, this is an offense that's had a lot of success in this game, and it seems like they're just having fun out there.
And it does feel like there's been a shift out there, doesn't it, partner? Listen, if you're up, you can continue to do what you want to do. It's up to the other team to make you change how you do things. They'll continue to throw it around until stopped.
13 yards, first down, Packers. Well, this one probably not the close game you would expect or hope to see in prime time, CD, but of course, that wasn't their intent in preparing for this one. They said they felt like their offense was ready to put up some points, and my goodness, it has been a dominant display in front of a national audience.
Yeah, they thought it, and it certainly came to fruition, didn't it? They've been dominant in so many ways in this one. If you weren't paying attention to this group before, you certainly are now after seeing this type of victory from them.
8 yards the tally on that first down run. Here's 2nd and 2. Love from the gun. They're going for Lazard, but this is intercepted. Picked off by Justin Simmons. And the Broncos are going to take over at their own 30-yard line. And they get a 4th quarter pick. A little something to hang their hat on, I guess.
Okay, so let's face it, though. Who's happy about this play? Fantasy guys, right? The analytics will tell you one thing or another. That's a bad play on one hand, a good play on the other. But it's all about the fantasy points here.
Yeah, because this ball game is over. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard. Here's Wilson. And that falls to the ground, incomplete. A nice job of bodying him up defensively, and now it brings up third down.
Well, it just seems like all game long there hasn't been a lot of sync quarterback to wide receiver on this side of the football.
They haven't been on the same page, quarterback and receivers. Heck, they haven't been on the same grease board when you draw plays up. They haven't been on the same surface tablet.
And my goodness, another interception. Picked off by Darnell Savage. And the Packers are going to take over here up near the 40.
I think you and I were a little surprised back earlier in the game when he threw his second interception. I mean, who would have thought a quarterback of his caliber picked now 5 times?
It's beyond stunning to me because we're used to that with maybe a quarterback with less experience or less talent. But a quarterback of his caliber, I can't believe what we've just seen.
Absolutely. If you would have told me this coming into the ball game, I would have said never, not in a million years. But here we go.
First down, going to the air with Love. Throwing left side, and Watson has it. And the tackle going to be made at the 38.
Ready up.
And just a yard to go here on second down. Play fake. Here's Love. That's complete to Dobbs. And this is going to be another first down as they'll make the tackle at the Broncos' 22-yard line. It's a pickup of 16 there, and it'll lead to a new set of downs. On 1st and 10, Love. And this is incomplete. Oh, he had 6 points right in his hands, but could not hang on. Going back to Love. And this will be caught. And the carnage continues. It's another touchdown. When coaches come into a game preaching total team effort, CD, I think this is the type of ball game that they're dreaming of. It was pretty apparent early on that they were clicking in all 3 phases. It's been fun to watch.
Yeah, sometimes in the NFL you end up with matchups like we've been watching here. And when you go back through the early drives, you can just see that one squad was on a different level in this game. Safe to say, we have been disappointed in watching their execution throughout this contest.
And he'll very wisely take a knee here as they'll bring this one out to the 25 on the touchback. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. And they unfortunately are staring at a mini losing streak developing, trailing here in the 4th quarter. This would be their 3rd straight defeat. And he'll be out of bounds across the 30-yard line.
So much goes into a successful play, doesn't it? How about that play action there? Freezing the defense just enough to bring the tight end free downfield for the completion.
Toward the sideline, and look at that catch. Dragging the toes, and that's going to be a first down. Well done. A good pickup there, 26 yards. So into Packer territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 41. Here's Wilson. This will be caught. Judy. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. That's back-to-back plays of over 20 yards. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So from the 17 now, here's a 1st and 10. Wilson will throw again. And now here is another interception. Picked off by Darnell Savage. And the Packers are going to have it here at their own 9-yard line. But with this advantage, this defense knew that passes were coming, and they stayed in position, Charles, and picked one off here in the 4th quarter.
Yeah, what a way to cap things off, huh? Because I think this is part of the game within the game. They see the score.
And he's going to go down right near the goal line. The officials look at each other. They're going to mark him at the 1-yard line. Bradley Chubb, his 2nd sack of the night. Got to imagine the pass rush will be equally intense here on 2nd down following the sack. It's 2nd and 18. A throw there, but that's going to wind up incomplete. Well, up big here in the fourth quarter, up really big. That pass and incompletion, I don't think they needed the completion, but Charles, this is an offense right now that they're just having fun. They're clicking on all cylinders.
Yeah, you're right. They didn't need a completion. They certainly don't need any more points, but they're not going to turn them down. They're going to continue to run what they have in their playbook, and they still want to run it efficiently.
Room here to run. And finally taken out of bounds all the way up near midfield. It's a big play there for Green Bay. 44 yards. The big play has them all the way out near midfield for a 1st and 10. Now it looks like he'll throw here. On the out route, Dobbs brings it in. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 45-yard line. He was unable to shake free there, and they'll cover him for a loss of a yard. And that was a heck of a play there on the outside.
Partner, sometimes I think on a play like this as a corner, you've got to think to yourself, all I've got to do is slow him down so others can come over and support. But in this case, he said, forget that. I've got this. Sorry you had to make the run for nothing, fellas.
Trying to run inside, but nothing there. No gain that time, and it leaves them with 3rd and 11 coming up. Backed up here, tough spot, needing 11 yards to pick up the first. On 3rd down, Love. Incomplete, and we're down to 8 seconds now. But their passing attack, even though that one was incomplete, has been really sharp in this one. It's resulted in a lot of touchdowns, and it looks like they're not going to stop throwing the football until the very end of this one.
Well, that will certainly make everyone involved on offense pretty happy, because that gives them all a chance to pad their stats a bit. But as far as the actual need, you and I both know they can just run this clock out, because this one, it was over a long time ago.
Okay, ready?
Love to throw for it on 4th. He's got the hook up with Dobbs. And he is going to have a Packers 1st down as they manage to convert, and that'll keep the drive alive. Well, partner, under the lights in primetime, this offense, they gave the nation quite a show, putting up that many points to come away with what will certainly be a memorable win for them.
And, Brandon, I think it's as simple as this. Some players, some teams, they're just meant for the big stage. And when they get a chance to play in this type of atmosphere, where all eyes are on them and all the lights are shining brightly, they show up and they show out.
So for the Packers, they improved to 5-3 as they approach the halfway point of this 17-game schedule. And they'll return home next week to take on the Kansas City Chiefs. Meanwhile, for the Broncos, their season is on life support somewhat now at 3-6. And they'll look to get back on the beam next week as they host the
You spent your whole life trying to blow up, but Elohim never had time for donuts. The beat gon' have no time for cold cuts. The game like big fish came to Jonah. Yeah, I'm still independent. Ain't sold 1 million records yet. Used to be on my checklist. Big diamonds don't need a necklace. Look, we built the sound like it's double speed Tetris. I cannot build without God in it. We built the sound, you can't copy this.